Hey guys, Lee here from the Appalicious Teacher. Super excited to be here today to be talking to you about the easiest classroom egg hunt that you will ever do. Pinky promise to you, this will be the easiest, and I promise it will not get you in trouble with your administration team. Pinky promise. So, of course, this is the week for Easter. Sunday is Easter. Yay! So if you're not on spring break, you're trying to survive through this Easter season. Of course, kids are sugared up. They're a little crazy. Who knows what's going on? But of course, you're going to have some sort of spring party or maybe an Easter party in your classroom. And one of the favorite parts about parties is doing an egg hunt. Now, I know a lot of teachers are a little hesitant to do egg hunts because they're kind of a lot of work. And they're not necessarily academic focused. I mean, if this kind of describes you, go ahead and type in the comments there. But I know my administration is very much about academics and what are we doing to teach the students and really wanting to make sure everything's tied to standards. And it kind of sucks all the fun out of things. And that usually meant the Easter egg hunt was going to go bye-bye. But I'm here to share with you one of my favorite, seriously, easiest ways to have an egg hunt in your classroom that I promise your students will be remember and talk to you about for years to come. So if you're planning on doing an egg hunt, you need to, of course, to make sure you have enough eggs in the class for all your students. I usually ask parents to send in eggs, but I mean, right now Target has like containers of 12, I think they're packages of 12 for 89 cents. So really you don't need that many. I like to have at least between 5 and 7 eggs per student. And of course, I love these that I found. These are cute little glittery ones. Aren't these like adorable, guys? I found these in the dollar section at Target. So if you want something fun, you can always get the glittery ones. But if you want something cheap, you can grab those 89-cent ones for 12. So like I said, I like to give each student about 5 to 7 eggs. Okay? And here's what makes the egg hunt so easy. You're not filling the eggs and you're not hiding the eggs. So I know you're thinking, Lee, you're a little crazy. What do you mean I'm not hiding the eggs and I'm not filling the eggs? Hear me out on this, okay? So what I do is I make sure I have enough eggs for every student, and I pass out about 5 eggs to each student, and then I give them little pieces of paper. And here's where that academic piece comes in, okay? On the paper, I have students write math fact or a question or something on there that's based on what we're learning about. So, when I taught 3rd grade, I might have had my students write a quick multiplication fact. When I, for 2nd grade, of course, I would probably just do a quick basic fact that I would have them write. Or, if you're learning about fractions, you could even have them draw a fraction and ask the student what it is. So they're going to take 5 sheets of paper. If they have 5 eggs, or, that you gave them 7 or 8 eggs, give them that amount of paper and have them write a little question, okay? Then you're going to have the students stuff your eggs for you. So for each question, they're going to fold it up and put it in the egg for you, okay? And once all students have filled their eggs, you're ready to go hide them. So let's kind of talk about the kind of questions that you can actually have your students fill out. Of course, I was showing a lot of math examples because I really like to do this towards the end of the day, and a lot of times we had math at the end of the day. But you do not, I repeat, you do not have to use math. You could have them write just questions about, about personal questions like what's your favorite animal. You could have them write sentences if you give them bigger slips of paper that maybe the students have to fix up. You could have them, do verbs or, nouns and have the students maybe write a sentence with that verb or that noun. Or if you have vocabulary words for the week, you could have the students write the definition, and the student, this can be modified anyway. But the point is that the eggs are not filled with candy. So this is where your administration will be okay with this egg hunt, because the eggs are not filled with candy. They're filled with academic questions that the students are coming up with, not the teacher. Okay? So after your students have filled their 5 to 7 eggs, I don't like to give more than 7, just because it takes too long for them to find those 7 eggs, and it gets a little too much, and I don't like to do less than 5 because then it's really over quickly. So anyway, once they fill up those eggs, you collect them all back. Of course, I have a fun little Easter basket here, but you can put them in a big basket, and then here's the part where you don't have to do the work. So a lot of times with egg hunts, the teacher has to hide the eggs. And when we're talking 20 students in a class, each student has 5 eggs, that's 100 eggs that I need to hide. And I ain't got time for that. Plus I have students. What am I going to be doing with all these kids while I'm hiding these eggs? So here's what you do. You partner with somebody, preferably someone who's right next to you, and you guys switch classrooms. Okay, hear me out on this. Okay, so if you teach 2nd grade, you go up to your neighbor and you say, hey, you want to do this egg hunt with me? You know, you hide my eggs, I'll hide your eggs. And so once you kind of get a teacher on board, and I promise they're going to want to do it. Never had an issue with finding someone that wants to do this. But you go into their classroom and they have their eggs ready and your students hide their eggs. So of course they're super excited because they get to hide their friends' eggs. And then that class comes over to your room and they hide those eggs for your class. So and of course those kids are super excited because they get to hide their friends' eggs. Okay, so you give them about 5 minutes tops to hide the eggs. I usually bring a little stopwatch and say, all right, you know, I usually lay a little ground rules, not at the teacher desk, you know, not in a trash can, or if there's no-go places in your classroom, maybe, you know, outline it that they can't be there, maybe the iPad cart, or, you know, places maybe where students wouldn't be able to find eggs. But once everybody has finished hiding the eggs, you switch back, have your kids go back to their seat, and then let them loose. And I usually give the students about 7 to 8 minutes to find their 5 eggs. Once they find their 5 eggs, they bring them to their desk. They're not allowed to open them yet. Now remember, these don't necessarily have to be the eggs that they made the problems for. It's more fun if they get to find one of their friends. So, but once everybody has found their 5 eggs, then I have them go back to their seat and we open them up. And just on a regular sheet of white paper or loose leaf paper, they answer their questions. And now, of course, no egg hunt really is complete without candy. So for every right question they get, oh, that's upside down. There you go. For every right question they get, I let them get a piece of candy. So at this point, you know, 5 Starbursts for a little bit of hard work. I mean, it's nothing big. I'm not over sugaring them, you know, which is once again why I don't like to go over 7. I think 7 pieces of candy is kind of a lot. But they get to trade in their correct answers for candy. And of course, at that point, students want to get the right answers because they want the candy. So if they, you know, maybe a student had kind of seen this and thought, oh, this is 3/4 and not 1/4 shaded, you might have them go back and fix it so they can trade it in and get that candy. So that is seriously one of my favorite and most easiest ways to do an egg hunt in the classroom that I promise will not get you in trouble with the administration team. If you like that idea, be sure to follow me here on the Appalicious Teacher on Facebook, and also you can check out my store at teacherpayteacher.com/the Appalicious Teacher. Thanks guys, enjoy the rest of your week. Happy Monday.